Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Sportschat with DJ Matt. I'm here with always with DJ Echo. What's up?
Ooh,
Yeah. All right.
ooh.
So, as everybody knows, the draft was last Thursday through Saturday, and it actually went pretty well. There was no glitches. There was no problems with the virtual draft. So, it was a glaring success in that aspect. But we got to talk about the Saints here because I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know what was going through their minds. So, what do you overall? What was your thought on the Saints draft?
A little confusing to say the least. Uh, it felt like they did things backwards. Okay, so like the first pick, Cesar Ruiz, was not a bad pick by all means.
Mm-mm.
However, I feel like that there were better options available, and they could have maybe got him in the second round. Patrick Queen was right there, and it was obvious that they wanted a linebacker because they took one in the second round. So, you know, I was expecting them to take Patrick Queen. And then you got to think, come third round, they trade away the rest of their picks, come up into the third round, and take a tight end. And then seventh round, they trade some more and come take a quarterback. And then extend Taysom Hill and sign Jameis Winston. Why did you draft the quarterback?
Yeah, well, I mean, oh my lord, the Saints. I mean, in any other draft, I mean, look, the problem was they only had 4 picks in this draft. If they had more picks, it would be a better draft. Because like the picks they picked, like they weren't bad picks at all. It's just
Yeah,
where they selected them at was bad.
right. Like I said, there was nothing wrong with the picks that they made. I just feel like that there could have been better. I feel like Patrick Queen was right there. They wanted a linebacker because my thought was, okay, maybe they don't want a linebacker, but no, round two they took a linebacker. So my thing is, you take Patrick Queen, and then beginning of round two, because more than likely he's not going to come off the board, um, for the rest of the first round. You look at beginning of round two. Okay, who can we look at moving up with if we really want Cesar Ruiz? So
Like I'm all for boosting up our O line, but I feel like for this year, I felt like we didn't need to draft him because I feel like our O line's good enough already. And like this is Drew's last year. We need to boost up our defense. We didn't need to draft any offensive players, but we 3 of the 4 picks were offensive players, and one
right,
of them won't even see the field. So it's like those 4 picks we had. It just the only one that's useful right now is Zach Bond, the linebacker, who I really like. Actually, I really do like that pick, but I would have rather Patrick Queen in the first round than him in the second round. You know,
yeah,
I just didn't understand what they were doing. It was just very confusing, as you said.
yeah. And I mean, you gotta. Sometimes you gotta take picks so that other teams don't get him. I mean, look at Dallas. They took CeeDee Lamb probably because they wanted CeeDee Lamb, but also they're like, well, we're not gonna let the Eagles get him, so we're taking him right now.
Yeah, because Patrick Queen fell to Baltimore, and Baltimore already has a good defense, and like they're Super Bowl contenders, and then they just increased their linebacker depth, and that's not.
Yeah.
And like
So
he's gonna be
so
the
that's
like another joke we were making throughout the draft. Like the people the Saints didn't draft were the people that were going to screw us over in the playoffs if we play against them.
yeah.
Patrick Queen's going to screw us over in the Super Bowl.
But I don't know. That would be my philosophy sometimes whenever I'm drafting, because whenever I'm in the later round, whenever I'm towards the end of the round, you got some Super Bowl contenders. There's a really good player. Maybe I'm not so high on him, but you know what? I don't want him going to another team
Yeah.
to maybe make them better. So I don't know. We're not like I said, like I told you, we're not NFL GMs. We're not coaches, so we don't know really what's going on behind the scenes fully.
Well, in all fairness, Patrick Queen at that moment in the draft was probably the best player available overall, in my opinion, from what I was looking at. So I think they just missed the ball on that. But I am glad we did get Zach Bond. At least we know that we addressed it. We didn't draft a corner at all, and I'm very disappointed in that because I think we could have drafted a corner. You know, in general, I just didn't like that we didn't do that.
A
So
corner, maybe a safety. I don't know, something,
yeah.
some some kind of or pick somebody up and be like, hey, we can play at the nickel, something.
So overall, what is the draft grade you would give the Saints?
I will give them I would give them a B minus. And I know that seems a little high, but you know what? I think they made some quality picks. I would give them a B because of the picks, or maybe even a B plus, but just the way that they handle their draft picks, I'm giving them a B minus.
I'd give him a C plus. I give him a C. I mean, the only saving grace really was the Zach Bond pick. I do believe all these picks we did draft this year will be good players in the future, but I'm looking at it as right now this year, Super Bowl contenders. What's going to help us immediately? Only one pick is going to help us really immediately, and so that's why I give him a C.
Yeah.
So, but that you brought up James Winston and Taysom Hill and all that stuff. So, what do you think about all that and the contract he signed? And do you see him potentially replacing Drew Brees? Like, do you think it's going to be a battle between him and Taysom?
I'm a little confused, all right? See, it makes sense. They were talking about it whenever Jameis was a free agent. They were like, maybe he'll go to the Saints. In my mind, the Saints are heavily contradicting themselves right now because on one hand, they say Taysom is our guy. Taysom's the quarterback of the future. After Drew retires, we want him to start. But right now, the message that you're sending him is, well, we've got Jameis. And my thought is that Jameis is going to, for this season at least, serve the role that Teddy Bridgewater served last season. So Taysom's going to be playing on the field. And I think right now, as long as they have Drew, Taysom is going to continue to be a gadget player. I think that that's what's going to do. And you watch Pat McAfee, he was talking about the scout team. And it looks like he was talking about Jameis is probably going to run the scout team. So I
Yeah.
don't know what they're doing.
Well, here's the thing that I'm concerned about because we signed Taysom to basically a 2-year deal, but it's kind of like a 1-year deal, but it's a 2-year deal. That's confusing also, but either way. So like it's like last season Drew Brees got hurt and then Teddy Bridgewater stepped in and he won 5 games and he was really good, which is the reason why he got the money he got in Carolina.
Which well
So
deserved. Good job, Teddy.
yeah. So the same thing can happen with Jameis, but here's the thing: it's like if Drew Brees goes down, we're gonna put Jameson over Taysom.
Right.
I say we should put Taysom in because if you say he's gonna be our starting quarterback in the future, I'd let him quarterback. I want to see what he's got. But they'll probably put in Jameis, and if Jameis does well, better than expected, which is very possible, because I think he's gonna learn a lot from Drew. He's gonna limit his mistakes, so I think he's gonna become a better player either way. So if he does well, do the Saints go back and say, we can win better with Jameis rather than Taysom, and then we just get rid of Taysom, or we keep Taysom? Because I'll tell you right now, Taysom likes being that gadget player, but he wants to be a starting quarterback. So if we keep denying him the starting quarterback role,
He's
he's
gonna
going to
get
want to
rid of him.
leave and go somewhere else because someone else is going to make him that starting quarterback.
And I think, whenever they put the first round tender on Taysom during free agency, I think I think some people read into that. I didn't read into it. I was kind of like they're just protecting Taysom because as much as a team is going to want Taysom, if they want him for a quarterback, they're not going to give up their first round pick. They're just going to draft a quarterback because more than likely teams that need quarterbacks right now are in rebuilding mode. And instead of taking Taysom, they're just going to take someone out the draft. So that was just a hey, if you really want Taysom, give us a first round, which was smart. You're going to keep Taysom, but you can't continue to put first round tenders on him for no reason.
Yeah,
What I think personally they need to do is this year is going to be very important for the Saints in multiple ways. Like this is going to be a crucial year for the franchise going forward in 10 years. On one front, you have are we going to win a Super Bowl? It's Drew's last season. We're expecting it to be Drew's last season. And we have to look at are we going to win a Super Bowl this year? But on the other front, we're looking at who's going to be our starting quarterback. Is it going to be Jameis? Is it going to be Taysom? What about this guy that we just drafted? What's going to happen with him? There's a lot of questions right now just at the QB situation. That's not even including the rest of the team.
because we still got to pay Lattimore. We still got to pay Kamara. We got to still pay all these type of guys. And I don't know how much money we have in cap space to pay to extend all these guys. So there's a good chance we might lose some of these players as well in the future, which would suck, honestly.
Right. So I don't know. My thing is like you said, I want to see Taysom play, but if they honestly, if the Saints are looking at, this season and they have Jameson and they have Taysom in, I think they should both run them in practice with the first off with the with the first offense. And you got to think Taysom's not as young as we think. I think he's like
30. Like,
30,
yeah, he's
20. He's not young. A lot of people are like, "Oh, Taysom, he's not young. He was in college for a while."
if Taysom's our starting quarterback, we're looking to get maybe 5 or 6 years of him if we're lucky.
I think personally, if Jameis does well, we keep Jameis and if we keep Jameis, we have to get rid of Taysom Hill. And that's just it because we can't afford to keep both. Taysom's going to want to be a starting quarterback. Someone's going to give him a good offer. So I would say if we know that, either put a first round tender on him or try and trade him, but don't let him walk. At least
Or
get something.
or I just thought of this. So Julian Edelman was a quarterback in college, right? And he transferred to wide receiver. What if we talked Taysom into just becoming a wide receiver just altogether? Like, that's your new position. You're a wide receiver now. Do you think he would be down for that maybe? Because if he's successful in that role as a wide receiver like Julian Edelman was, and we can still run trick plays, he can still throw the ball occasionally, like, you know what I mean? But have him as an actual wide receiver, like permanently. Do you think he'd go for that? Is that
I
something?
don't know because at least like you said, he wants to be a starting quarterback. He feels like he can be a starting quarterback in this league. And whenever you're a guy and you're sitting there, you're like, I know I can be a starting quarterback in this league. If the Saints are going to come up to him and be like, hey, we want you to play wide receiver, he's going to be like, I know I can get an offer from somebody to play quarterback somewhere. And he's going to go. So
Right.
I think if we keep Taysom, he's either going to play quarterback or that's it.
Because here's the thing: if so, Jameis signed that 1 year deal. If we re-sign him because he did well, then I'm assuming that Jameis is going to be our starting quarterback of the future.
Yeah.
So if they let Jameis walk after this season, then and Taysom's still under contract. So okay, we roll with Taysom. That's the way. So that's what's going to be the big tell is if they
Yeah.
let Jameis walk at the end or not. So, but at least we got depth at that position. So if Drew goes down, at least we know that we have some talent back there that we can still kind of steer the ship like Teddy did, and maybe even what if Jameis was the one that actually won the Super Bowl? What if Drew got hurt? I wish it won't happen, but if Drew got hurt and Jameis actually did lead us to a Super Bowl, I mean, oh my God,
We're
imagine.
keeping Jameis at that point. Sorry,
Oh
Taysom.
yeah, at that point, yeah, you got to keep Jameis. But I mean, that'd be amazing. That'd be an amazing story.
For
That
Jameis, yeah, going
back part of the
coming
year.
off of a first off historic 30 touchdown 30 pick season to winning a Super Bowl.
And that's the thing too. Like he threw for 5,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. I mean, like we said on many occasions, you limit half those interceptions. They're Buccaneers are a playoff team with Jameis Winston.
Yeah,
So
and you know what's another thing I've been thinking about? They signed Jameis. Tampa Bay's on the up and up right now, and Jameis pretty much knows that playbook.
yeah.
I mean, there's no rule against it, so
And another thing too, Jameis is in an offense similar to Tampa Bay in that we have now two good wide receivers in Thomas and Sanders, good tight end and Jared Cook. Like the teams are very similar if you
yeah,
look at it just in personnel.
I'm
So
excited.
Jameis could step in and definitely, I think, produce. He just got to limit his interceptions, which I think Drew is going to help him with because Drew is going to
Yeah,
the back.
under Drew, I think under Sean, I think that they can get him in shape.
So I'm
If
both worried and excited.
if we don't keep him, this is going to be good for Jameis. Either way, Jameis is winning. That's probably why he came to New Orleans because reports came out that Pittsburgh offered him way more money, but he came down here because he wants to learn from the best. What can we say?
Yeah. So like I said, I'm worried and excited at the same time because I'm like, this could either work out really well or blow up in our face. I
Right.
just
Yeah.
I hope it works out. As long as we get it, as long as the person that steps in after Drew, no matter who it is, as long as they, I mean, obviously, they're not going to perform at the same level as Drew did because Drew is just that good. But if they could still provide us winning seasons and playoff appearances and potentially build into
I'm
Super Bowl,
happy. I'm happy.
I'm good with that. I
Yeah.
can't complain about that. So let's move on to some of these other teams that had questionable drafts. The big one is the Packers. I mean, oh Lord. So they draft Jordan Love, what, 26, I believe,
26th.
something like that.
26th.
So so the Packers haven't drafted an offensive player in 15 years in the first round. So like no wide
The
receiver.
last the last offensive player was would you look at that? Aaron Rodgers.
And Aaron Rodgers is about the same age that Brett Favre was when they drafted Aaron Rodgers. So it's like a full circle type of deal. But so it seems like there's a big divide between Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers. I feel like they don't get along. That's what the
Yeah,
report.
I saw reports that the Jordan Love thing is like a power move by LaFleur to show, hey, we're not messing around. You're gonna do what we want, or else you can go.
But I mean, listen, as long as Aaron Rodgers is in Green Bay, there's no way Jordan Love is overtaking Aaron Rodgers. Because like it's not like Eli Manning. See, when they drafted Daniel Jones, Eli Manning knew that his play was going down. Like he wasn't like out of it. You know what I mean? He
Yeah, I
understood
mean
what happened, so it was a better situation. And he did mentor Daniel
he
Jones.
retired. He retired at the end of
Yeah,
the year. I don't see Rodgers retiring for another at least 5,
there
6
was one
years.
game from the Super Bowl last year. So I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand why they would do this year to draft a quarterback, at least in the first round. You know what I mean? I just don't
And
understand.
to trade it up.
Yeah. So, and I heard that like it's like Stephen A. Smith's a big Green Bay fan for some reason, and he
Yeah.
wants Aaron Rodgers to leave. Like he wanted Deshaun Watson to leave whenever they traded DeAndre Hopkins. Now he wants Aaron Rodgers to leave. I'm like, dude, you can't just have all these quarterbacks just leave.
Yeah.
I mean, but do you think there's a possibility that Aaron Rodgers does leave Green Bay and go somewhere else, or do you think Bill Belichick's gonna trade for him?
No, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to leave. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be one of those guys that he's just going to stay on the same team. Although a lot of people said that about Tom Brady, and
Yeah.
look where we are. But I don't see Aaron Rodgers pulling something like that with Tom Brady, like Tom Brady did. I think whenever he's done, he's just going to leave Green Bay, and then that'll be that. Jordan Love can take over the team.
Yeah. And there was something that was said, I don't know who said it, but somebody on ESPN, like, it might have been Stephen A. Smith that said that Jordan Love needs to be a Hall of Famer then. Because if you think about it, Brett Favre's a Hall of Famer. Who replaced him? Aaron Rodgers, who's also a Hall of Famer. So now you have Jordan Love. Jordan Love has big shoes to fill when he gets in, you know?
Yeah,
So honestly, to validate this pick, he has to be either win a Super Bowl or two or be a Hall of Famer. Like, he has to be exceptional, I guess, in order to validate it, I guess. I mean,
I don't know. I don't understand this whole we need to validate this pick. You know, it's not like it's a little different whenever like you trade away a player and get a first round pick, and then with that first round pick you like replace the player. That's a little different, but it's not like you're replacing Aaron Rodgers right now. It's like you're letting Jordan sit. So
yeah.
regardless, he's going to be a better quarterback because he sat under Aaron Rodgers. He sat, learned the offense. He sat, had time to develop his skills. So regardless, he's going to be a better quarterback. Now, is he going to be a Hall of Famer? I don't know. I mean, it seems like they're letting just anybody get into the Hall of Fame these days, but like
Yeah.
that's a different topic.
Um, yeah, so but the Packers didn't really draft a wide receiver. I think the draft they didn't draft any wide
No,
receivers at
they
all,
didn't
which is
at
very
all.
questionable, especially with a deep class like this. I mean, they could have had T. Higgins available to
They
them in
could
the
have
first round.
they,
That would have been a
they could
big
have had
pick.
a lot of guys.
So they're not doing Aaron Rodgers any favors anyway. And I think the Packers are the best team in that division, and I think they'll go to the playoffs and all that jazz. But I think they're missing a lot of wide receiver depth. That's what's going to kill them, honestly, more than anything.
Yeah.
So I feel bad for Aaron Rodgers, but at the same time, he's Aaron freaking Rodgers. He's fine.
Yeah.
Um, the Patriots were. Wait. What grade would you give the Packers draft though? What grade?
D, just a D.
I was gonna go C minus. I was.
I'm not gonna hand out an F, but I'll go C, a D.
Yeah, it was not a good draft. Patriots. Here's the deal with the Patriots. The Patriots makes these draft moves, and only Bill Belichick can get away with this stuff. I'm serious. Like him and his freaking dog at the computer. Like I'm sick of that dog. I love dogs, but I'm sick of it. I'm sick of that. I'm sick of his dog.
That's it.
But like, so the first pick they got, they traded out of the first round. They got to
First round.
they drafted Kyle Duggar out of I don't even know what the name of the university is because like it was a university I never even heard of. I never even
Almost as minuscule as this university.
yeah. But like Nichols is Division 1 still. This was a Division 2 school that he got drafted from in the second round. After like I'm going what? And no one questioned it. No one said anything about it because it was Bill Belichick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. It's Bill Belichick. What are you gonna say? You know?
Um, so they were the whole storyline for them was they're going to draft a quarterback, but they really didn't. They got an undrafted free agent quarterback, but like so they didn't really get a quarterback for the future per se. So basically, Jared Stidham is going to be the starter unless like Andy Dalton goes there or Cam Newton goes there. But as of right now, Jared Stidham is the starter.
They said that they're not going with Cam Newton. Like the Patriots come out, they said we're not signing Cam Newton. So
Jared
whether or not that's gonna actually not gonna is that gonna go through, I don't know. I don't know. The Patriots are just kind of in this weird limbo state. It's like you've still got a lot of the pieces from last year, but like you lost Tom Brady.
Yeah.
So what do you do?
I mean, I would say they were tanking for Trevor, but I don't think they're tanking for Trevor. I don't think Bill Belichick's gonna let them tank. I feel like
They're not gonna.
they're gonna win
They're
six
not gonna
games
out.
next year
They're
easily.
not gonna out tank Jacksonville. Come on, Jacksonville's
Yeah,
gonna go win
Jackson's
16.
tanking. Real talk. Oh Lord. So the Patriots draft grade, I'd give them a C also. I think for their draft.
Yeah, I'll give them a C as well. It wasn't as bad as Green Bay, but also wasn't all that good either.
It was pretty bad. Um, Another controversial draft pick was Jalen Hurts to the Eagles. Now, a lot of people hated the pick, but I actually like it because here's the reason why. Carson Wentz the last couple of years has been hurt. And like during the playoffs, he's been hurt. They won the Super Bowl. Like he got a ring, but he didn't win that ring. Like Nick Foles won that ring because he got hurt, and Nick Foles had to step in. So you draft a quarterback like Jalen Hurts that it's not going to be a starter day one. Carson Wentz is still the starter, but when he goes down, you have somebody that you can depend on to step in and maybe win a Super Bowl like what Nick Foles did. So I think it's a good pick, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, I think the first two picks um by the Eagles were really good. They took Jalen Rieger over Justin Jefferson. I mean, that's their choice. They still got a wide receiver,
Yeah.
still got a top wide receiver. The second pick they picked Jalen Hurts. I mean, like you said, look at Carson Wentz. I mean, the season that they won the Super Bowl, yeah, he had basically already gotten to the playoffs, but Nick Foles had to bring them to the Super Bowl and win it against the Patriots team,
Mm-hmm.
was usually very good. And in the second season that Nick Foles took them to the playoffs, he had to actually take them to the playoffs. Like it's not like
Yeah.
Carson Wentz already had them there and they had to take them there. So obviously 2 years in a row, there is a issue with Carson Wentz. I mean, he just seems to be too injury prone. So I think that the Eagles smashed it with their first two picks. They got a wide receiver, which obviously they've been needing because obviously the wide receivers in the Eagles can't catch for anything.
Well, not just that,
And
all of them got hurt too last
right.
year.
And then on top of that, you got Jalen Hurts,
Yeah.
who I mean, at some point was probably projected whenever he was going to get drafted to be pretty high, but then the whole Tua thing happened, and he went to Oklahoma, and then all these better quarterbacks came forward. But still, Jalen Hurts is not a bad quarterback. He's backing up for Carson Wentz. More than likely, he will play this season because if you look at the trends, Carson Wentz does have a habit of getting hurt. So
And
I don't see what the problem with the pick
he could be
was.
like a Taysom Hill too for the Eagles, like because Jalen Hurts is a very mobile guy. He can probably catch and run like Taysom does. So they can use some trick plays with Jalen Hurts as well, and give Carson Wentz maybe a breather or two. That way he doesn't get hurt. So they can do it that way. And Doug Peterson's a very good offensive mind and very creative. So I mean, I think it works out for the Eagles. I really like it. I really do. I give them a B for the draft. I give them a solid B.
Yeah, I give him a B plus because I think those first two picks were really solid, very smart.
Jalen Hurts was the only quarterback drafted day two. So rounds two,
Right.
he was the only quarterback. Um, so let's get to the other things real quick. So I think the Bengals actually had a really good draft. I was actually surprised how good of a draft it was. And like they got T. Higgins in the first pick of the second round, which I think was a
Right.
steal actually. He should have been a first round pick. So they got
Right.
basically two first round picks.
Right.
And
Obviously, Joe Burrow, obviously.
yeah.
But they got some good stuff for Joe Burrow. I mean, AJ Green's
I
coming back. I don't know how good he's going to be, but he's there for Joe.
mean, they look at their offense. Their offense looks solid. I mean, it's not like a terrible offense. Like they'll put some points up, I think, honestly.
Yeah.
The defense is still a question mark, but I like what the Bengals did on offense, especially when you have AJ Green. Now you have T. Higgins. You still have Joe Mixon, and Joe Burrow, and they did draft some old linemen too in the
Yeah,
draft.
I think that was smart. Joe Burrow, I think they were like, let's appease him, at
Right.
least for this season. We can focus on defense later. Let's just appease Joe so that he's happy.
Yeah, and then and the thing that they said too was that like Joe Burrow worked out with T. Higgins beforehand anyway, like just in general, like he threw to him already. So like they have some familiarity. So that's a
Right.
really good pick if that's the case. And like I said with AJ Green, if he's healthy and he's 100%, that's a deep threat. So the Bengals might actually be cooking something here. They might actually be trying to build something.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. I hope they go through with it.
Yeah, I
I,
hope they
I give
do
them a
too.
solid B plus two for their draft.
Yeah. I'm tempted to give out the first A, but I'll also give him a B plus.
The Dolphins now with Tua, and then they drafted O lineman. They got Tristan Wirfs, right? He was the O lineman they drafted, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that was a good pick.
Which is
Um,
good because he was projected to go 4
yeah, the
to
Giants
the
passed up on Andrew
Giants,
Thomas. Yeah,
and then he dropped.
the Dolphins might be a really good team next year. I mean, I don't know if they'll be a playoff team, but they'll be good.
But you know what? You know what's the first time that it hasn't happened in a long time? They got hope. They got hope in the division because the
Yeah,
Patriots are no longer seem to be the sports that they've always been.
and they're comparing Tua to Drew Brees, like he's the left-handed Drew Brees. They're calling him and stuff like that. So if that's his ceiling and he hits it, I mean, he's
That's
going to
pretty
go
good
into
ceiling.
history.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So I hope that happens. I'm rooting for the Dolphins. I really am. I mean, they haven't really won anything since like Dan Marino. And I don't even think Dan Marino won anything. Like they went to the Super Bowl, but they didn't win it. I don't believe.
No, no, they won the Super Bowl because they had the only perfect season.
Oh, that's true. That's right. That's right. You're right. I forgot about that. They were 14-0. They weren't 16-0. They were 14-0 though. They didn't have 16 games. They had 14 games back then.
It
But
was still a perfect season.
still
All
perfect.
right.
Patriots couldn't do it. So that Dolphins are the best
Thank
team.
you, Giants. Thank you, Giants.
Yeah, thank you, Giants. Big time. So the Dolphins, I give a B plus too. I give them a B plus.
I'll give them a B.
Yeah, really solid. So the team that I think had the best draft, and I'm not just saying this, but it's seriously like the Colts had the best draft. Let's be real here. Come on, Chris Ballard's the best GM in all of football. I'm telling you, they got two first round picks basically in the second round. If you think about it, like they got some steals. I'm telling you, love it.
Yeah, yeah, they got some steals.
Michael Pittman Jr., wide receiver. Then they got running back Jonathan Taylor, who was the best. I think was the best running back in that draft class, to be honest.
Yeah, me too.
And then they drafted Jacob Eason in the fourth round, who should have been a second or third round pick. So I think that was a steal. And then like the sixth round, they added up some safeties and some linebackers and stuff like that. I think Chris Ballard, man, it's just a great GM. I just love him so much. Such a great GM.
Yeah, I feel you. And you know what? You know who else I think did pretty good, and I don't think that they did the best, but I think that they got the best pick of the entire draft. The Arizona Cardinals,
Yes.
Isaiah Simmons slipping
Had a good
all the
draft.
way to 8. Picked
Yeah.
up Isaiah Simmons. Carolina, what were you doing? They also picked up Rashad Lawrence, a D tackle from LSU, who was pretty good in round 4,
Yep.
which was pretty good. I really wanted them to pick a Meek, but they didn't.
But I mean, Cardinals had a good draft too. You're right. I agree with that.
Yeah, with that Isaiah Simmons pick, I was like,
Dude.
wow.
Yeah, and the Cardinals said that they're going to use him as a linebacker, but they will move him around to other positions when needed. So like he will be like around the field, but like he'll mostly be a linebacker, but still.
Right. Yeah, and
Versatile.
Cardinals are a team that I've been saying I'm going to be looking out for. I think that they could be a wild card. I really think that they could be a wild card now with these picks that they've made. You know, they buffed up their O line a little bit, which is really good. You got to protect Kyler. I think that the Arizona Cardinals had a good draft. I don't know if anyone per se had like that. Ooh, that was a perfect draft, but
I mean, a
Cardinals were
lot of
pretty
solid
close.
drafts are on the board. I mean, a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah,
solids.
a lot of solids, a lot of bad drafts.
Yeah, questionable drafts. I wouldn't say bad yet. I'd say questionable. A lot of questionable.
Well,
Well, let's talk about Amik now. He got drafted to the Raiders, the Las Vegas
yeah,
Raiders
me.
in the fourth round. Happy for him. He's going to a good place. He fell. He should have been a third round pick, but he dropped to the fourth round. But he still went to a quality place. The AFC West is very interesting because all the Broncos, the Chargers, and the Raiders, all three drafted wide receivers, I believe, in the first round or so, and or at least in the first two rounds, they drafted wide receivers.
Yeah, I was
And
about to say not in the first round, but first round.
the people on the broadcast, they were like, well, they understand that stopping Kansas City is going to be almost impossible. So the only way to beat Kansas City is just to outscore them. So they were really happy with all the wide receiver picks in that division because
Yeah,
they can have firepower. So, but the Raiders did draft Amik um and he knows was that safety Jonathan Abrams, I believe, who was drafted last year by the Raiders.
yeah,
Yeah, he's really good too. This is his second year. So he has some familiarity with him in that secondary. So I'm really excited for the Raiders in the future because I think Derek Carr is a good quarterback. I think Derek Carr is vastly underrated and is actually kind of disrespected. I think, because is Marcus
yeah,
Mariota better than Derek Carr? No. Um, Everyone's saying Marcus Mariota might replace him, but Derek Carr's better in my opinion. They just didn't have the right offensive weapons for Derek Carr to be good, and they got rid of Khalil Mack too, the year John Gruden got in. So that was kind of dumb, but and Mark Cooper too. So
yeah. I mean, they got first round draft picks. They wasted on Cleveland Farrell last year. I remember when they made that pick. I was like, what are they doing? But We're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens. They're not playing in a great division right now, with the Kansas City Chiefs and all, but
What if the first game against Kansas City that they play, the first pass
picks
Mahomes,
off Mahomes.
he pick six? That'd be amazing. You know what thing too is like when you got drafted, everyone was talking about how great of a pick it was and all this stuff. Like all the draft recap shows I watched about all the draft grades and stuff, they were saying like, "Oh yeah, Meek's a great pick. What a steal!" Blah blah blah. I'm like, why didn't you say that like the night before he got drafted? Like why didn't you bring that up? Like you only said that after he got drafted. Like why weren't you giving him praise before the draft? I don't understand that. It just I feel like that was the reason why also that his draft stock fell was because I feel like no one was talking about him. But when he did get drafted, that's when everyone was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about him. He's a great like he kind
It happens. I mean, Matthew, you got to understand. There's a lot of people that are eligible for this draft. I mean, there's so many
of
undrafted free agents still. They got a lot of people that they got to go through. So for you to forget somebody, it's not that uncommon. And then on top of that, you got to think, okay, first round draft, you're really only thinking about guys that you've got in the first round and early second round. Like that's where your mindset is. Like
right.
obviously for this one, you were thinking, okay, here's the wide receivers. Obviously, these quarterbacks are probably going to go off the board. Maybe these linebackers. You got some old tackles that are. So you're not thinking about somebody that you've got slated to come off the board late third, early fourth. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I'm
It
just
just
defending my boy
happens.
Mika. I'm just defending him because I feel like I
I
feel
know, I know, I know. And and I'll defend you with him, but I'm also saying like, hey, it's a lot. It's a lot to keep track of.
yeah, I totally understand that, but I feel like they projected him a second, third round pick, and he fell to the fourth, and there was like no explanation why. There's no one
Well,
knows why.
well, it's like I told you whenever teams reach in like the first or second round, then you've got projected first, second round talent that drops.
Right.
So you just got to think about that sometimes.
Yeah.
And
At least,
besides, whatever like Mel Kiper and stuff projects is not what's going to go down in the draft. It's
well,
just
I
not
understand that
ever.
too. I'm just saying though, like I mean, the whole build up to the draft, because like like okay, so before the draft started, he ran his 40 and stuff, and it like this like oh yeah, he's rising up draft boards now. He's doing this and that. Like he's rising up, only to fall. So it's like you know what I mean. I felt like I was misled. I'm mad that I was
Oh well.
misled.
Sue the NFL for being misled about Amik
Roger
Robinson.
Roger Goodell, I'm suing you. Him and his
Oh,
okay, honestly, he reminded me of like Mr. Rogers from Mr.
yeah.
Rogers' Neighborhood, which is funny because his name is actually Roger Goodell. But like he was in his chair eating, I guess, M&Ms. Like beginning of the night, the jar was full, and at the end of the night, it was like that. I'm
Homeboy
like,
was hungry. He wanted a snack.
yeah, Roger Goodell's getting fat. Okay.
He's getting that quarantine, bud.
I will say though, Roger Goodell has a nice basement. I thought his basement would be trash, but it was actually really nice. I give him
Yeah, I
credit.
was I was expecting to see anti-Saints propaganda, but
Yeah, me too.
guess I was mistaken.
I'm glad they found a way to boo him too, because that's a
Yeah.
fan that can't die. You gotta boo
I'm
him.
upset that I'm upset that he's playing into it though. I don't want him to play into it.
I want him to freak out and like flip the stand or whatever. Like, why are you booing me? Like, I
Yeah,
want.
that's what I want. I don't want to be like, yeah, keep the booze coming. No, I want you to be mad. Urgh.
Dude, how funny would it have been if somebody on those fan cams said something really really like disrespectful to Roger Goodell and he got mad and he took a baseball bat and started smashing all the TVs. That'd have been
Just
funny. That'd have been funny.
yeah.
And then he'd be fired from commissioner. Well,
He
can he
just
get fired?
says, yeah, yeah.
I mean, he's the leader of everything. Can you fire the leader? Is that something that can happen? I
I
don't know. How that
mean,
works. I don't know.
probably.
Probably. Let's get to some basketball real quickie. So Zion was talking with Ernie Johnson. I think might have been Sunday night or whenever it was. It was a couple nights ago, and he was saying like how like he has like a basketball hoop at his house in New Orleans and all that stuff. That the Pelicans kind of hooked all the team up with stuff to kind of keep in shape and work out with. So he's saying that he's in better shape and that he's ready. So I mean, I know that when the season starts back up again, because I think it'll probably go straight to the playoffs. So I feel like the Pelicans won't be playing again this year. But if they were, I had a feeling that Zion would be even better than what he was whenever they stopped playing. You know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you can only improve if you over the quarantine you continue to practice.
Yeah. I hope he's working on his 3-point shot. That's what I'm worried. That's what I want him to work on more than anything, to be honest.
I want Zion to have that kind of 3-point shot where whenever he takes it, like you should be expecting it, but you're not. So like you make the mistake of leaving him wide open and he just drains it every time. Like I don't want him to be that guy that whenever he comes up, he's going to take the three. I want him to be one of those guys where, you kind of, all right, we're going to guard the paint because we know he likes to paint. He takes a couple threes. You're like, all right, we got to guard it. And then he zooms past you into the paint.
Yeah.
Like I want him to be one of those guys to where you just don't know where to put people. So then you got to start doubling him. So now maybe you got to Brandon Ingram open. Drew Holiday's open for. So I think if Zion can get a not a like Klay Thompson, Steph Curry level 3-point shot, but if he can get a consistent 3-point shot, he's going to be scary.
Well, yeah, he's scary already. I'm scared of him already, to be honest. If I had to play against him, I'd just quit.
Yeah. All right. Well, bye.
like you win. So yeah, so I'm excited. I mean, the only reason why this whole thing sucked about the NBA suspending play was that the Pelicans were rising, and they could have easily gotten the playoff spot. I believe. I think they would have gotten it. So it sucks in that way. But still, they were able to get momentum toward the end. So if next season, when they do get to play again, they'll have some momentum to build off of. And maybe they get new free agent requirements. You know what I mean? Get new players in maybe. So they might get better in that way. So I'm excited for the Pelicans the next couple of years. I'm just ready for basketball to be back. And I just want to see what we got still,
It's been 50 days since they canceled.
Really? It's only been 50? It feels so much longer.
Yeah.
Dang.
It's only been 50 days.
But the NBA is getting I think next week they're gonna open up gyms and stuff. The NBA team.
Right. They said that they could open up gyms. They gotta wear face masks and stuff, except whenever you're like on the court actually playing. But yeah, some said that they're gonna open. Other teams like the Atlanta Hawks said they're just gonna wait it out.
Yeah. So it seems to be like it's starting to slowly come back a little bit, or the hope is that they'll slowly be coming back. Like by August, July, maybe they might be able to do some sort of a playoff, I guess.
Yeah, something.
I don't see them playing regular season.
No, they're not gonna have time. What do you think about the comments that Draymond has been making?
Draymond's just petty, man. He's just in his feelings.
Yeah, I feel that. He's talking about it was me, Clay, and Steph, and then everyone's memeing him like Clay and Steph, like us. But I was me and you.
Is it just me or is Draymond really overrated? I feel like he's really overrated. I don't like.
Yeah, I feel like he is. And then he's like, me and Steph with the pick and roll could beat the Lakers with Shaq and Kobe. I was like,
No, they
shut
would.
up. Just
No, they
stop
would not.
talking.
It's
Just
because Draymond
stop.
doesn't score. So Steph be the only one trying to score, and then Shaq and Kobe would both score because they're both prolific scorers. Draymond doesn't score, barely
All
score.
right, listen. Steph Curry, that's like, okay, that's a pretty even matchup. All right, Steph's a pretty good player. Kobe, obviously, legend. Shaq would bully Draymond Green, no questions.
Real talk.
Like,
The only reason why I hated the Warriors dynasty, it was not even because of Steph, wasn't because of Clay, wasn't even because of KD. It was because of Draymond. I hated seeing Draymond. Draymond would always make me mad. He'd always be getting these technical fouls. He'd always be whining, crying like a baby. I just lost respect for Draymond, and I just don't like him. That's the reason why I hated that dynasty. Because I just didn't
my
like
thing with
him.
Draymond Green is he's all right. He's like the kid, like in the group, right? Like you got the project, right? You got 3 good students, you got the 1 bad student. The 3 good students, they do the entire project, and the 1 bad student's like, yeah, we did that. That's us. Yeah, we hard. And it's like you didn't do anything. Like if Steph would run his mouth as much as Draymond would, I would respect it because you know what? Steph has a reason to run his mouth.
Yeah. I'd be running.
Draymond Green does not have a reason to run his mouth like he does.
I had the skill of Steph Curry, and I was shooting threes from the logo every night. I'd be trash talking the hell out of everybody. So if he started trash talking,
and then Draymond comes up and he's like, and that's all he does.
The one thing that Draymond does good, or the 2 things I guess, is defense and rebounds, and maybe assists. But he doesn't really do anything else though. He doesn't score. He barely gets 10 points if even that. I feel like he has no room to really be trash talking anybody. He kind of just got lucky. He was on a good team.
Honestly. And my problem with that is look at the 3 other players that were on there at the height of the Warriors dynasty: KD, Steph, Clay. You notice anything in common with those three guys? They're
What?
all scorers.
Yeah. They
They
can
can
easily.
all put up 30 a night,
Yeah.
no questions asked.
Right.
Draymond
Clay put up 37 points in a quarter. Draymond can barely put up 10 in a game.
put up 60 points. The ball was in his hand less than 2 minutes. Klay Thompson.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say. Like I don't know why Draymond Green thinks he has the right to do all this talking.
And I love Steve Kerr too. I love Steve Kerr as a coach. I really do. Like I like the the only reason why I hated the Warriors because of Draymond. He looks like Donkey from Shrek. I just don't like him. He seriously does.
Oh, I guess we should touch on the Last Dance docu series we had, our Dennis Rodman episodes.
Very interesting. Very
Also
interesting.
talking about the bad boy Pistons, and then of course here comes all the people like, oh, LeBron wouldn't survive the bad boy
LeBron
Pistons.
be crying. LeBron be crying the whole time. Trust me. No disrespect to LeBron, but I mean he'd be crying the whole time.
Another funny thing that came out of it was it was in the playoffs, and they asked the guy like, what was the game plan? Well, the game plan was get the ball to Jordan and get out the way.
Yeah. I feel bad for Isaiah Thomas though from the Pistons. So I feel like because of the way they played and the way they acted, because they didn't shake the Bulls' hands at the end of that playoff series and all that stuff. Like it feels like Jordan kind of hates him in a way. I don't know, but like I don't know the full story of all that. So, but I feel bad for him because I feel like he's not a bad guy, and I feel like he was a really good player when he was playing. Like, he's a Hall of Famer, But like he said like he wasn't on the dream team, and that if the reason why he wasn't on the dream team was because he didn't shake hands with Jordan, then I was kind of petty that he was more hurt by that than not being on the dream team before. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I feel bad
Jordan's
for
definitely one of those guys. He's like, you're gonna earn my respect, and if you don't, then you don't. That's just it.
him.
He,
Yeah.
he seems like one of those guys to me.
And the Pistons did play dirty. We're not going to deny that. So maybe Jordan just didn't respect him because they were playing just so dirty that he just doesn't respect dirty players. Maybe I guess that's a possibility.
Yeah,
I know the full story. I mean, I watched the episodes, but I don't know all these. There's still stuff they probably haven't told us about all that. I feel like there's more to it than just what they showed us, in my opinion. I don't know.
yeah, and then this upcoming episode is gonna be rough for a lot of people. It's the Kobe episode.
Oh yeah, I saw the promos. Yeah, yeah.
And they've got Kobe and all, and a lot of people are gonna be like, and they feelings and stuff.
You know what? Those been coming out. I don't know if you've seen all these rumors and stuff. Well, not rumors. I guess it's confirmed. But like, they have a documentary about the Redeem team with the Olympic team from 2008, I believe, or something. So you have that documentary that's be coming out, I think, in a couple years. And I believe also I heard that like Kobe in his final season had cameras and stuff around.
Yeah.
There might be a documentary
Hmm.
about Kobe's final season. So we got some docs coming up, maybe potentially from ESPN that, like The Last Dance, would be like one of these global events. I mean, I'm excited if they do it. I really want to see it, especially the one with Kobe. I think that'd be really interesting to see his final
Yeah,
season.
I think Kobe could end up getting more watch than Michael. If they could quickly produce it and release it quick enough, they they could still ride the coattails of Kobe's death, which is kind of like scummy, but it's like, hey, it's a good time to release it.
Right. Yeah. And I do want to see the Redeem Team one too. I think that'd be interesting because you have I think Kobe's on in that one too with
Yeah,
LeBron, with Wade, and all those and Melo, I believe. So I mean, so that'd be
a
an
lot of big
awesome
names.
documentary too to watch. So I mean, I'm not a big documentary watcher guy. I really don't like them. Some of them are kind of cheesy and just kind of like whatever. But the Michael Jordan one's really really solid. And I mean, if they make them the next two like they made the Jordan one, I'm really looking forward to it because you learn something. Like I actually learned something, which is really cool.
One more basketball thing we go. It'll be a quick thing. He saw Aaron Gordon dropped.
Yeah, I dropped this track on Dwayne Wade. Yeah.
I didn't listen to it. I heard snippets of it. It was kind of
Yeah.
meh.
Well, Aaron Gordon is not a rapper or singer. You know what I mean? He's not Victor
Yeah,
Oladipo.
I just I thought it was kind of funny that he dropped something on Dwayne Wade. I think he called it nine out of 10 or something.
Yeah. He let
That's
Dwayne
pretty.
Wade know he was doing that, though. I think he got Dwayne Wade's approval before he did it. I think because Dwayne Wade knows
Yeah,
about it. And he was cool with
yeah.
it.
I think the whole thing they're just playing it up for fun.
Yeah,
Like
I really do.
I'm sure deep down Aaron Gordon is salty, but it's like it,
Well,
it is what it is.
he's not doing another dunk contest ever. So I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
Wayne Wade kind of ended his dunk contest career.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like
Yeah,
it
it's like what
is
it
what it is, you know.
is. What it is. One more thing I want to touch on real quick, because I feel like it'd be a fun thing to do since it's a tradition around here. The Knicks have agreed to extend their GM Scott Perry for one more year, which is funny because they didn't do nothing. So I say sell the team still, obviously. Um,
I've been waiting, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. You do not know how long I've been waiting for a notification to pop up that says breaking: James Dolan is selling the Knicks. We
real
will
time.
be so happy whenever that happens.
Me too. Oh man, I need to get one of those confetti cannons. I need to hide them somewhere so when it does happen, I can just break it out, and just pop it up.
You're like in the middle of the Walmart and you're carrying it with you, like, yeah, and everyone's like, "What are you doing?"
You know what's the most Nick thing to happen though? Is when they do sell the team, they'll sell it to even a worser owner and they'll suck even more. That's such a Knicks thing to do. Sell it to the wrong guy.
Yeah, but like we just gotta ride the coattails of sell the team Dolan. You know, I don't care what they sell it to. I just want to be able to say yes, Dolan sold the team. That's all I want to happen.
Yeah. Stephen A. Smith should really buy the Knicks. I really think it would work out.
I mean, he doesn't have the money for it, but you know,
Or at least make him the GM or the coach or something. Like, let him be a part of the organization. I bet he fixed that organization.
you just walk into the Knicks organization and you just hear, "Boy, you better stay off the weed." And you're just like, "I'll come back later."
Yeah. Like, you remember Stephen A. Smith coaching the Celebrity All-Star game with Michael
Oh,
Wilbon?
that was so funny. That was
Imagine him on the
I
sidelines
need
of the Knicks game, coaching the Knicks, and how
I
trash
need more of that. I need more of Stephen A. Smith coaching in my life. I need more of it.
I do. Like, oh man, especially the Knicks. I'm telling you, that's a bunch of guys that need to be whipped into shape. They should make a documentary about that. Stephen A.
I
Smith
need it. I
coaching the
need
Knicks.
it so bad. I need it so bad in my life. Oh my god.
Oh man, dude, I would love that. I'd become a Knicks fan so fast.
You like post a Knicks meme like, oh, they're trash. Next day Stephen A is the coach. Hey guys, just got my new Stephen A Smith jersey.
I bet you the first day he makes someone cry. I don't know who it would be, but I bet he makes somebody cry.
Yeah. He's gonna be like, RJ, go sit over there. You've done nothing wrong. And then he just starts tearing into them.
Starts throwing chairs and breaking clipboards and stuff.
And RJ's just sitting like,
He's like, "Can I be traded?"
can I go now?
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. That's all I got for today. You got anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think that's it.
All right, so we'll end it there. Please make sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff that we hate saying, but we have to say it.
Comment champion. You got over here, comment champion.
Yeah, comment champion if you made it.
That's this week's comment.
Yeah. Follow us on Instagram at Sportschat with DJ Matt 1. That's the number one spaces. You know how it goes. Thank you guys for watching. If you
You
made
know
it,
what it do.
you guys are real ones. We'll be back next week with something. I don't know what. We'll see what happens, but we'll be back.
We'll figure it out.
Figure it out.
Like I said, after the draft, we're gonna have to start resorting to tier lists. So at some point,
Yeah.
expect that.
So that's gonna be fun, though. All right. So thank you again, my co-host, and I'll see you next week.
Yes.